Hi guys, it's Sharon. I am here to do my first Facebook Live ever. I'm really excited. And anyway, it's my birthday and I figured that would be good luck. So I expect to see lots of happy birthday comments in the comments. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not. Yes, I am. Anyway, I wanted to just give a couple minutes for people to get on here, and I'm going to introduce myself. For those of you who don't know me, I am Dr. Sharon Somek. I am a pediatrician and the founder of Raiseology. After practicing pediatrics for 10 years, I developed a parenting program that really answers all the questions that I've gotten over the last 10 years of practicing pediatrics, and it's really unique and amazing, and I'm very excited about it, but that's not what I came here to talk to you guys about today. Today, I am here to talk to you about the top 5 ways to develop a lifelong healthy relationship with your children. And I hope that you guys really enjoy it. And I will stick around for some questions afterwards. So if any of you guys have questions, then feel free to write the questions in the comments, and I will happily answer them. Okay. So without further ado, the top 5 ways to build a lifelong healthy relationship with your children. I'm just gonna all right, so I know it's really what all of us want out of life. We want to create relationships with our children that stand the test of time, that truly that are really truly special, and where we are working hard to create children that we really want to be friends with in their adult life. And so the first thing that I would say is really important for building a lifelong healthy relationship with your child is to not try to be your child's friend. And I know that we all think that we want to be friends with our children, and I think that that's really important to understand that as parents, our young children are not seeking friendship from us. They really are seeking guidance, and don't mistake the idea of friendship with your young children to mean you need to be their friend during their childhood. It's a very important distinction to understand the difference between parent and friend. Like a friend, a parent can be a supportive confidant even in the younger years. But don't forget that it's our job to turn these children into the types of people that we want them to be. And as a parent, you're going to find yourself disciplining and discussing things with your children in a way that no friend ever will or could. Your role as a parent is to be lovingly critical and to support your child's emotional and physical growth from the point of view of the person that's responsible for what type of adult you will one day see in front of you. The second thing I think is really important is to show your children love. Of course, we all love our children. I think you wouldn't be here listening to this today if you didn't love them. But knowing you love your children and making sure that your children feel that you love them are two very different things. And it's sort of important for them to know that your love for them is unconditional. And as children feel that unconditional love, they are able to accept constructive criticism and discipline in a much different way than children who doubt that they are loved by their parents. And we all know people who feel that doubt, they weren't sure if they felt loved, and that's something you never want your children to feel. The third important thing is to create very clear boundaries and to enforce them. So this is where I think most parents have the most difficulty. We all know it's important, and most parents that I work with will say that I know I need to do this, but it's just really hard for me to do. And that's why we need the support of other parents and really to understand the reason that this is important. And creating boundaries for a child is how they learn how to behave in this world. And it's very important for us as parents to be able to prepare them for what this world is going to throw at them. And if they don't learn the appropriate ways to behave, hi Sharon, then we really are not doing them the service that we should be doing them. And so this is probably one of the most difficult things to do as a parent. Creating boundaries is challenging. It's sometimes hard to know what is appropriate to have as a boundary and what isn't, but harder, I think, than creating boundaries is actually enforcing them. And so work on it, create systems that help you, reach out if you need help, and that's what we're here for. So the fourth thing that I think is really important is to be who you want your children to become. Our children are watching our every move. Imagine that all of your actions are being recorded on video. How would you behave? And when your kids are around, that's what it is like. They remember everything that we do. And our actions speak way louder than our words. We can tell them how we want them to behave from today to tomorrow, but if we don't behave in that way, it doesn't stick. Of course, we all want our children to become better versions of ourselves, but what I've really learned is that as we become better versions of ourselves, the message becomes crystal clear to them and has infinitely more power to it. And then the fifth thing that I think is really important to creating a lifelong healthy relationship with your kids is to forgive your mistakes and to forgive the mistakes of your children. Hi, Wynn. Forgiveness is one quality that I know I want my children to possess. And while forgiving others is super important for our own well-being, forgiving ourselves is critical to our happiness. We all make mistakes, and making mistakes in how we raise our children is no exception to that rule. We may say things that we don't mean. We may raise our voices sometimes or lose our patience. And occasionally we allow our children to see us behave in ways that we aren't really proud of. Just as we hope that they're going to forgive themselves for their mistakes, we should forgive ourselves for those mistakes, and we should show them that we are forgiving ourselves and really have the conversation with them, and they appreciate that and they learn from it. And as young children, our forgiveness of their mistakes is equally important. They will appreciate that you can point out something that was done maybe not the best way, but that you love them anyway and that you forgive them, and that will allow them to learn to forgive themselves as well. I think that these are, in my opinion, the most important things that are really helpful. Hi, Shuli. To creating a lifelong relationship with your children. I want to ask you for two favors today. First, if you like the content of this video and you think it was awesome, share it. If you write the word shared in the comments, I will be offering a 30-minute consultation, complimentary consultation for anyone who shares this, for one person who shares this video, and hopefully you'll be the lucky winner. The second thing I would really like you to do is, if you think that the program sounds interesting to you and you're excited to hear more about it, you can certainly click on the link above the above this video and book a call to discuss if it's the right program for you. And then just because it is my birthday and I want to give you guys a present, I am going to put a link in the comments to the PDF version of this talk so that you have a hard copy to look at and remind you what we talked about and what the important things for you to think about when you're hanging out with your children are. So this was lots of fun. I am willing to take any questions, like I said. So if you guys have any questions, shoot. And in the meantime, I will say that one question I do get a lot is how can parents who have multiple children really give their children the enough attention when it seems like there's never enough time. And I hear you loud and clear. This is something that I think many parents struggle with. I sometimes struggle with it myself. I have 4 kids. I'm trying to build a business. My husband and I are both working parents. And one thing that I think is super important to remember is that it's not the amount of time you're spending with your kids that they think is important. It's really the quality of time that you're spending with your kids that's super important. And so make sure that when you are spending time with your kids, you are turning your phones away from you. Even keep them in a separate room. Don't take phone calls. Don't have the TV on. Don't be doing work at your computer. They feel that and they notice it. Really turn everything off. Tell them you're here for them. You have time for them right now. You want to spend it with them. What do they want to do? Hi, Kara. And honestly, schedule it in. And it sounds weird to say like you're scheduling your kids' time in, but sometimes we're busy and we can't really focus on all the things that are important to do. And if you don't set yourself reminders to do these things, then it just doesn't get done. And I'm sure that you can think of weeks that, you just really didn't give the time you wanted to give. It doesn't need to be a lot of time. It just needs to be good quality time. And so for a child who's getting your undivided attention, 10 minutes can feel like an hour of time that he's getting attention where you're busy doing other things. So, don't do the dishes and don't be on your phone. Just sit down, play a game, do what they want to do for that time. And I think that that's really important. Another question I get a lot from parents of toddlers has to do with potty training and the timing of potty training. And for those of you who've heard me speak or know who I am, I think that there are a lot of things that we should be sort of helping our children with along the way and guiding them in a more substantial way. And unfortunately, potty training is one of those things that you really can't force them to do. And so you're welcome, Oshrat. I think that it's the one thing I say we really need to do on their time and when they are ready. And I think that, things like 3-day potty training sessions and other forceful methods of potty training can really stress out a child and can set you back if they don't work. And sometimes they do work, but I find that to be a rare occasion. If your child is showing readiness for potty training, so they know when they are going or they are feeling, they're asking to go, I think that's awesome. And then, yes, you should definitely teach and show and, be present in that learning process, but don't force it. Encourage it, reward if they go, and if they have a successful event, make a big deal out of it. But don't look or feel or act disappointed if they have an accident or if it's not working out as fast as you'd like it to. It will happen. I'm telling you, they're not going to walk down the aisle in diapers, So I hope that this was interesting for you guys and useful information for you guys, and please share it. And like I said, one person who writes that they shared it in the comments will definitely have a free 30-minute consultation with me. And if you want to hear more about the program, click the link to book a call and we can chat. Have a great day, and thanks for listening.